What's up, people? It's the Wright Brothers coming at you with a little ride along talking. So, I was talking to the homie Dirt, my dude named Dirt. Shout out to Dirt if you ever watched this video. You know, y'all need to be stabilized. Hang on. Where's my rag at? Oh, can't find it. Hopefully the anti-shake is on. Anyway, he was thinking about transitioning from Swift. And I told him if he's going to leave Swift, the company to go to is either Interstate or Snyder. That's just what I told him. His wife is like, she don't want him to be gone, which is totally understandable. You know, she don't want him to be gone from the house for long periods of time. So I basically told her, if you're going to be away from home and you're only bringing home $800-900 a week, you want to leave home, but leave home for a good reason. And the money, to me, for leasing or owner-op makes it worth it. Not only does it make it worth it, it also makes it worth it. Hell, I mean, if you can bring home $2,000 a week, then that to me is worth being away from home for a little bit. You know, not only that, I also told her, like, you can pick your own load, so she can basically be his dispatcher. So she'll know where he's at, how much time he got, and if he needs to come home for, you know, mother-daughter dance for school, or, you know, to handle some business, a court date, whatever, you know, he has the option to go home when he wants. And that's the good thing about picking your own load. I think y'all just saying all truck. Let me try to readjust y'all just a little bit. But that's what I look at. Like, if you're going to be home, like in the beginning when you're getting your experience, that's different. But once you got your experience and you ready to make that next move, whether it's lease, owner operating, or going to another company, you know, you want to make the money, you want to have the money make sense. Alright, making $8,000-9,000 a week is fine as a company driver. It's fine. You know, you go local, you bring home $1,200 after everything's paid for, meaning insurance, taxes, and all that stuff. You know, that's cool. But when you go lease and you can bring home $2,100, $2,500, you know, I feel it's possible. I know some people are gonna be like, you can't make that lease. Like, I don't understand when people say, why pay the company truck for them, or you can't make no money lease. To me, that's absolute bullshit. I feel like you can definitely make money lease. You just need to find the right situation for you. You know, if you go lease with some of these companies, to me, I don't think I would lease onto a company that's paying less than $1.12 a mile. That's just how I feel about it. Either you're going to get percentage, or you're going to get $1 plus a mile. You know, you got some companies paying people 84 cents a mile, 90 cents a mile. To me, you can't make no money doing that. Because, I mean, you're only getting 50 cents more, but yeah, you got to take into account, you're taking on not only a truck note, you're taking on fuel and maintenance as well. Usually, most maintenance accounts probably take out 5 to 7 cents. So that 84 cents is now 70 something cents. That 90 cents is now 80 something. It's 82 cents. You know? So that doesn't make sense to me to go lease for less than $1. Now, does it work? I guess so if people keep doing it. But I wouldn't, if I'm going per mile, I want more than $1 per mile. Because you want the money to make sense. If you're going to be out here running, you want the money to make sense. Now, the difference to me, and again, all this shit is just my personal opinion. The difference to me, when you go percentage and when you go per mile, is when you go per mile, you really have to run. You have to get those miles. You know, that to me is where, when they say there's no freight, because they're getting paid per mile. If you're getting paid percentage, it's a little bit different to me. Again, my personal opinion. I'm sure people are gonna be like, I don't know what I'm talking about, which you might be right. You might be right, but if you go percentage, you know exactly what that load is paying, and you want the most money for the least miles. It's a frame of mind when you start getting out here doing that. You're either gonna go mile or you're gonna go percentage. And to me, percentage is a little bit better because you can run less and make more. Right lane closed ahead. No loads over 12. Okay. But that's how I feel about it. And I was telling her, like, look, he can be home because of he stays in the Fontana area. So anybody know California, Fontana area, that's a heavy freight lane. Meaning, when people say freight is slow, he will still have plenty of work. I mean, you got Walmart, you got Costco, you got goddamn TJ Maxx, you got Amazon, you got a slew of freight coming out the Fontana area. There's always going to be freight moving out of there. Now, will the price go down? Yeah. But I feel you will still make more on percentage than you would running miles. Now, here's the thing with miles. You're guaranteed to make X amount of dollars if you're running mileage. You're guaranteed to make X amount of dollars. Why? Percentage pay fluctuate. They fluctuate. You might get $2,000 one load, then you might get 84 cents another load. It fluctuates. If you're getting paid per mile, you know exactly what you're going to make when you're running. I run 800 miles, I get paid $1 a mile, that's $800. Minus fuel, that's $500. You know, something like that. You know, with percentage, you're not always guaranteed to make the big money. So that's something you gotta realize. That's just the way the game goes. But if you're picking your own loads, then you can at least see what's out there instead of taking whatever's the dispatcher's giving you. You know, they'll probably have a hot load to send you to an area where there's really no freight and want you to deadhead 50, 60, 100 miles to go pick up another load. You don't get paid for deadhead. Or I take that back. If you're on mileage, you might get paid empty miles. If you're on mileage. If you're on percentage, you don't get paid for that. So that's something you want to keep in mind. So as long as the wheels on the truck is moving for mileage, you'll always get paid. You will always get paid.
Continue 100 miles, owns 180 east.
Yeah, that's my new addition right there. I got a refurbished trucker's GPS off Groupon for $100. And so far so good. You know? So far so good. I like it. But so I was telling her, like, well, the area that he's in, if he could find the right lane, he could be home every 3 days. Meaning he'll go get the load, run it up there, turn around, come back. You know, because they have loads coming out of Northern California. Y'all hear that scratching? They have loads coming out of Northern California for like Frito-Lay. That's paying $3,000-$4,000. I seen that on the Snyder board. That's paying $3,000 or $4,000. So if he can get him a $2,000 load going up to, you know, in the area where it's at, deadhead X amount of miles, bring that load back, he just grossed $6,000 for a 3-day run. You get what I'm saying? Now, if he was on miles, it might not be the same amount of money because he's getting a set amount per mile. You know. Now, if you're on an op like Landstar or Roadstar, or you know, you're going on the load boards for brokers and stuff like that, that's different because you can negotiate your rate. You know what I'm saying? You just, hey, no, I'm not. I take this load, but $1.12 is not enough. Give me $1.85, and I'll run that load for you. They might be like, all right, send you the contract, you sign it, send it back, boom, you gone. But if you're percentage, you have the option to make more money. That's the way I'm looking at it. You have the option to make more money. And but here's the great debate. Do you go on percentage to make more money even though the rates are going to fluctuate, or do you go with a guaranteed set amount? You're guaranteed to make $1.25 plus fuel surcharge every load, every mile you run. What would you do? What would be your choice? You know what? I'm gonna make another video about that, talking about the great debate, and see what other experienced drivers would say about that. But that's a good question. When you want to make that next move, do you want to get paid per mile with a constant pay, or do you want to get percentage where your pay will fluctuate, but you have the option to make more money? You know? So basically that's what I was telling her. So she said she's going to do research or whatever, but I'm like, if I was her, I would let him go to interstate and get that money, because there's money to be made. They're making money over there. I don't know if you can ask anybody who's on the Freedom Board. You can ask them, are you making money? I doubt if they say no. They'll probably just smile and be like, oh, well, it's okay. You know, it's all right. Because they don't want you to get in and get their lane. You know what I mean? Like, they don't, like, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm making money. You know, I'm doing this, and that. But that's just the way I am. But in all actuality, it's like, I don't know you. So why would I tell you there's fantastic money to be made at a particular company so you can come over there and then you're going to start taking freight away from me depending on where you live at? You know? If I meet somebody in San Diego and they be like, man, I want to go to interstate. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You making money over there? You know, if I don't really know them like that, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm doing all right. You know? Like, is that fucked up? Is that fucked up? Because then if he gets on, he's going to be picking up my $800 IMAX load that I ran. Or he's going to be picking up my Idea load. Because that's going to be the options he have in San Diego. You know, some people say that's fucked up. Some people like, you know, it should be enough freight to go around. You might be right. Might be right. I don't know. How do y'all feel about it? You let me know. Anyway, yeah, I was just, you know, I told her, I was like, if you're going to be away from home, let the money make sense. Let the money make sense. He got his experience. Now it's time for him to go make the money. And the money is there. In the area he in, even though freight might slow down around the country, he's still in a prime location where he will always have freight. He can always pick up an extra load or two to cover it if the freight is slow in that area for whatever reason. For whatever reason. You know? That's how I look at it. If you're in a high freight area, something like a Fontana, California, there is no reason for you not to make good money. Now, if you're in the boondocks somewhere, you know, where it's just consumers, nobody's making anything, then that's different. That's different. Freight can slow down for you, and you will have to learn the lanes to where you can go to a high freight area in order to pick up loads to make your money and then shoot back to wherever it is you want to go. But if you're in the Fontana area or wherever place, I'm just speaking from my personal experience. The amount of freight that come out of Fontana, like any driver know, at Wanda. If you're a driver that's in that been in California, you know Wanda. What else? I want to say Paris. You got Wanda. Off the 60. You know what that 60 is all about if you're out there picking up the freight. But it's so much freight out there, it's ridiculous. Like, if you're, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. If you're in California and you're thinking about going interstate, Snyder, you know, where you can pick your own loads, you're going to know the 60 in LA and Fontana. You're gonna know Fontana real good. Fontana and Ontario. Those are the two cities you're gonna know real good because there's so much freight coming out there. You can't help but to pick up something out of there. You know? And that's just on the west. That's on the West Coast. If you're on the West Coast, you're gonna know Ontario and Fontana. There's money to be made out there. It might not be a lot, but it's money to be made. If freight slow down, like I said, you might have to pick up an extra load or two to cover that freight, to cover that expense of freight slowing down. You know, you was getting $2 a mile for this load. Now you're getting $1.25. Okay, that's still good money. And for the miles, depending on the miles that you're running for that load, you can pick up an extra load to cover that. You know. All right, it's the right brother, man. It just crossed my mind about it, and I just want to come and talk to y'all about that. All right, y'all be easy. Subscribe. Peace.